Life is like a rainbow. You need both sun and rain to make its colors appear. A quote by A. Ramea. I totally agree with the aforementioned quote because many of us have been drenched in stormy rain that's accompanied with strong, powerful, gusty winds. But at the end of our storm will appear a rainbow that beams under the sun. Mr. Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, life is life. Fight for it. A few years ago, a very dear friend of mine was diagnosed with that killer disease called cancer. I'd heard about that disease, but never in my life imagined that someone so close to me would be attacked by that ugly monster. Not that I thought that myself or the people within my circle are that invincible. But I'd always hoped and prayed for great health for the people I love so dearly. During the time of my friend's diagnosis, life seemed so cruel and so unfair. For it was a time that was gripped with fear, rage, and grief. Life was just so dark. It really was. For my dear friend, I thought that life had knocked her down to her very core. But something amazing happened. Do you know what my friend did during the midst of her storm? I'll tell you. She began to understand and tell herself that life has its ups and downs. And this was her downtime. But she refused to stay down because she believed there is beauty in life and that happiness and joy can be achieved in this very lifetime. So she resurrected her fighter spirit. And by telling herself that this battle is hers and it is hers to win. And she armored herself with determination, courage, and faith. And subsequently, she stepped into that fighter ring, realizing that this is going to be the ultimate battle of her life. So she stared at her opponent, cancer. And she began to fight with all her might and with all her soul. But I tell you, there were times when the battle got so intense to the point her body became weak and tired from all the chemotherapy treatments she had. Fellow Toastmasters, my friend was persistent in her fight, and she drew strength from her willpower. And most importantly, and during the climax of her battle, she drew out that secret weapon of hers called the power of positive thinking. And that was when she threw that victory punch right into the very heart of cancer. And all her families and friends who rallied and cheered for her during her fight greeted her with admiration for her brave fight and tremendously sweet victory. In every experience, There's always lessons to be learned. My lessons from my friend's fight for life is that it sounds cliche, but we should never take life for granted because it is truly precious and fragile. Another lesson that I learned is that in order for us to fight a victorious battle, we need to equip ourselves with important elements such as determination, courage, faith, and positive thinking. I'll leave with you this quote by Helen Keller to meditate on, and it states, "The struggles of life are one of our greatest blessings. It makes us patient, sensitive, and godlike. It teaches us that although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it." So fellow Toastmasters and friends, sometimes in life we choose our own battles, and sometimes we don't. But nonetheless, we are all fighting a fight. And with determination, courage, faith, and positive thinking, know that we can be triumphant, we can be proud, and we can be free. Life is just simply life. So fight. My friend did, and I will.